Good evening, everyone. We got a video here today, and we're looking at why the guys won't date these woke weirdo ladies, and if the world is going to end. So let's get straight into it.
A hilariously insane article titled "The Dangerous Rise of Men Who Won't Date Woke Women." I'm sure that most of you are already aware of the English actor and musician Laurence Fox, who recently obliterated a feminist on BBC's Question Time when she
It's interesting how they say a quote-unquote dangerous rise as if you don't have a say. You have to be sent your way, or whatever terminology they want to use. End of the day, you're making a decision what to do with your time and resources, but they seem to try to shame you in order to come back for some $2,000 conference.
accused him of having white privilege. Anyhow, Laurence Fox happened to mention that he doesn't date woke women, and that he had even broken up with a girl who had supported that one crazy 2019 Gillette advertisement that talked about the dangers of...
Yeah, that ridiculous advert that basically made a few people give up certain shaving, and some people ended up trying to grow a beard, because at the end of the day I was like, well, how about I not only not buy Gillette, I end up do the opposite.
Of toxic masculinity. "I don't know how we ended up together," Laurence Fox said. "It was a very short relationship. We were walking down the road and she was talking about how good the Gillette advert was. I just looked at her and went, 'Bye. Sorry, I can't do this with you.'" And now, predictably, the media is having a complete meltdown. There's nothing...
Of course, because this is what they're trying to push. They want to normalize it, and they want some Beta Bucks Deluxe to just play the handbag, hand over the wallet and everything else for that matter.
Nothing funny about the things Fox, or Wokey McWokeface as he now wants to be known, is saying. It's also not particularly sad. It's dangerous. He is just one very privileged man, and as a result of said privilege, has been given a platform, and he has used that platform to legitimize a...
Yeah, people don't just get their platform from doing work, being consistent, anything like that. There's no checklist. There's no barriers. Now, sure, some people do get these crazy pushes and whatnot, but they just assume that it's just given to you on a silver platter, that you have to, I don't know, you just get to walk in and do anything you want in a certain room.
A bigger backlash against diversity and progress, which is unfolding every single day in less public corners of the internet. Not wanting to date, quote, woke women, far from being laughable, is actually one of the more insidious aspects of it. Spend an afternoon on any major dating app and you'll come across generally white men saying openly sex...
Yeah. Well, I don't even know nowadays, but when you jump on those apps, you get basically everything you ask for, because I don't know what people are expecting. There was a time where you could put hookup app and that's where it would pop up, Tinder, Bumble. So even when you're typing it in straight up, the Google search tells you where to go.
Is wrong with not wanting to date a psycho. There legitimately are crazy people out there, obsessive people, stalkerish people, entitled people who are extremely selfish and bratty and just an overall nightmare to be around. Not to mention, if we're being honest, there are plenty of women who brush men off for the exact same reason. As for the eyebrows,
Because, yeah, we have to be honest sometimes, because we can't always play into the delusion. But on the flip side, you've got people monetizing playing into this delusion. And it is what it is. There's a lot of snake oil out there and people get tricked.
Don't really know what to say aside from everybody has a type. I mean, sure, the guy could have said it in a more charitable way, I suppose, but at the end of the day, you can't really control what you're attracted to, what you're not attracted to. Some people really might just be totally put off by bushy eyebrows. Also...
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes you just cannot control what you're attracted to or not attracted to. Now, obviously, you're going to be making some sacrifices here and there, but there is just that general level of attractiveness. Some people have high standards, and that can be their downfall when it comes to the dating.
The claim that these type of men exclusively, or at least in general, tend to hold extreme right-wing views is utter nonsense. There are plenty of male leftist and feminist supporting types who have been...
They just have to make a big deal out of it. End of the day, people will walk into that booth, tick whatever side they're going to vote for, and that's it. But people just want to keep riling it up. But this certainly was the story when you had certain Orange Man bad running around. And now it seems some of these news places are a little bit dried up because they certainly don't want to go too deep into this current administration.
Accused of far worse. Harvey Weinstein, for example. It's gotten so bad that there's even a stereotype now about male feminists being creepy. Left-wing men definitely don't have...
Because they are creepy. It's not. Sometimes stereotypes exist for a reason, because there's enough people now know that they're doing it as another way of trying to get it in. So that's what it is. I mean, they're hoping there's something in going to all these marches.
Some kind of monopoly on being... Conservatives are whining because it's not even just right-wing men, but anti-PC men. And then as soon as those very same men turn around and say, actually, we're not so interested in dating you either, then you put on the victim hats, and it's like, oh my gosh, the outrage, the scandal, the horror. And to be fair, I really don't...
Yep, and that kind of carry-on has been going on for hundreds of years. Very long time. They get to set standards. The other side say, hey, well, fine. Well, we've got our certain standards also. Oh, no, you can't have that. That's so patriarchal, blah, 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 blah. And it's just a joke at this point.
Don't exactly blame these types of men for not wanting to date woke women, especially if they're anything even remotely similar to this woman here. Who needs YouTube rabbit holes when you have the BBC broadcast?
Yep. Who needs it when BBC? Yeah, because these places, that's where you go if you want to get all the hardcore information. And this is just some sort of in the middle guy. This like just sort of semi-normie, not the full-blown turbo normie that's running around. Because there are still just some quote-unquote normal people that want to have kids and have a family and just sort of still have that white picket fence. There is that ideal of... Within the normies, there's a slice of normal people that are just enjoying a family lifestyle.
Something like that. But anyway, she wrote this tweet in response to a tweet from BBC that read, "We'll introduce you to a trad wife, a young woman who has chosen to be a traditional wife, staying at home to take care of the household chores while her husband works, and she is fine with submitting to her husband as he makes the key decisions in their lives."
That word right there. Read it out at home. And if you like this kind of content, hit that like button. Submitting. It is the dirtiest word you could ever say. Submitting. Submission. They think it is. They're going to compare it to some of the craziest things known throughout history.
So basically, this woman is claiming that to want to be a traditional wife it's the same thing as wanting to promote white supremacist propaganda. For those in my comments who don't seem to know, so-called trad wives are white supremacist women who...
Yeah, these are just the same buzzwords. This is what people use in order to shut down a conversation, stop the conversation, throw in these buzzwords, throw in these words that'll deplatform people. And it might have nothing to do with the topic they're trying to discuss.
But this genuinely has to be one of the stupidest tweets I've ever seen in my entire life. Wanting to be a traditional wife has absolutely nothing to do with wanting to...
Yeah, but this is the message. The culture swing has gone so far the other way now that people are surprised that the train was going to stop. The train keeps on chugging along. But anyway, gents, we're going to leave it there. As always, thoughts, comments below. And hit that like on the way out. It takes 1.32 seconds. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.